Out there in the universe, it's your host Sean Myrie of the Down to Earth podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something that's out there in the media. It's been out there for a while. Mr. Kanye West, short form, Mr. Ye. Very controversial in the news recently. He's been saying a lot of things, a lot of remarks. People don't know where he's going with this. He's going everywhere around the place. He disrespected, George Floyd's family by saying that he didn't die from, the cop putting his knee on the neck, saying he took fentanyl, and before that he said slavery was a choice. So he had his own community, his own people up in, getting very, very, very mad at him. And nothing really happened. It's just, oh, that's Kanye. He got some problems, he's going through a lot of stress. Recently, he made some comments about a community, right? He said something regarding the Jewish community, like he says about a lot of different people. And what he mentioned, he said it was anti-Semitic. So I want to be careful, right? Because I don't want to, everybody cancels somebody nowadays. Now, he mentioned, this is what I heard, that a lot of Jewish people, the community, they control the entertainment industry, aka the music industry, aka the movie entertainment industry. Anything that has to deal with entertainment, especially in America. So after that, a lot of people were in an uproar. Well, the community was, and even other people. And then a lot of Kanye West, famous rapper, entrepreneur, he has a lot of investments and people invest in him. And he partnered with many companies like Adidas, the works. It keeps going. I can't name them all. But ever since these comments are going on these shows, getting interviewed, he has gotten a lot of fire thrown at him and a lot of the companies that invested in him, or that he's was part of partnership. Now they're all taking away all those contracts. He's losing all of this man was a billionaire, one of the richest rappers, hip-hop artists, and now I don't know if that's the same, but what they what I heard is that he said is what I just mentioned. So I want to know, is that anti-Semitic by saying that these people control an industry? It's the same thing when they say most black guys just do hip hop and music. I mean, just do hip hop and sports. What is that? Is that anti-black? Because we've been hearing it forever, like a lot of stuff. So Kanye West is getting all this backlash, but then you have a person like Trump, who's been around for a long time, and he has said hundreds of mentions about people, about the Mexicans, about black people, about all types of, and women too, and women. And he's a billionaire. Correct me if I'm wrong. Trump's a billionaire. He has many companies, what are all through America and the world. And he, even before his end days being a president, he promoted people to storm the White House. What happened? That really happened. How many of his companies are the people who are associated with him, who have companies, pulled out? Did he get the same energy or the same thing? What's going on with Kanye West, Mr. Trump? I guarantee you could go online and see a video of Trump, and he's always saying something about people. He's always saying something about people, and he was a big bully. Mr. Trump. Now let's get back to Kanye West. Now, for a while, people were saying that he's, I don't know if he's schizophrenic or he has some mental issues going on. So I'm confused now. If you guys are saying he has mental issues and he needs to deal with them, why isn't anybody trying to help him? Did anybody put a hand out trying to, discuss what's going on with him? He's in the media and they're making him really look real bad right now, right? All different media sources is talking about him, but not in a good way. But this is the thing, it's very biased because when you see the media edits, they only show the part when he talks about the community, but they don't monitor or show the part when he's talking about his own people, black people. That he's basically saying these people who control the music industry allows the music, well, it's supposed to be freedom of speech. See, they're all messed up now. That they control the music that is affecting our community, the black community, and not in a positive way, right? They like, for example, we heard it time and time over. Does the music industry really want positive, for example, when it comes to hip hop, positive hip hop? No. So if they don't want it, who's letting through all this other shit, which is promoting self-destruction? Because a lot of the music now in hip hop is self-destruction music, and that's the music that's glorified and what the executives want because it makes money. Now, they don't want some group like Dead Prez, Public Enemy, and the list goes on to be around, because what does that do? That gives info, enlightens your brain, and gives you some type of pride in being black because they're educating you about your culture. Now, that's what he is basically saying. He's basically saying the people who control the majority of the media, right? He's calling them out, saying, basically, he's not even calling them by name, he's calling them by the community, because I guess a whole bunch of people from that community control the industry. He's basically saying, you guys should stop supporting my people who are putting this music out there. But then again, can we blame all the artists? Maybe they want a more positive message out there, but it's the executives who are telling them that's not selling, right? So now, for example, now when there's crime going on in the streets, a lot of the times the stereotype is it's an inner city problem. It's coming from that community. Let's see what we could do to help the black community. So they blame the black community for crime in many urban American cities, right? Am I not right? So they bring up our community. So is that not anti-black? Whenever there's a problem in these urban cities, I'm not saying that the black community don't have certain issues to deal with, but that's always the conversation. So my thing is this: how come they are so sensitive to anyone who speaks or mentions their community, but my community, my people, there's no problem, no issues with? They could do anything and say anything about us, black people, and it's all right. You got JFK. Not JFK. Excuse me, because I'm not gonna be like everybody say they all look alike. You got Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, who talks about all types of communities. He talks about women badly. He talked about homosexuals badly. He talked about, I wouldn't be surprised if he talked about Jewish people, but he's probably smart about that because a lot of those people invest in a lot of his business, right? So he's probably wise about that because he needs buildings to be made. He needs real estate. And that's another thing. Who's in real estate? Who controls the real estate industry? This is just, like, why are people running from reality? Why are you running from reality? Now, it's like Kanye versus the world, the universe. Kanye versus everybody. And then even his own people, even his own people are hypocrites. Like, what's his name from Breakfast Club? I seen a clip of Charlemagne, right? The God. And he's saying the same thing, if not worse. Maybe it came up now because in the defense of Kanye West, he's saying the same thing, Charlemagne the God. He's talking about the Jewish community, that they control everything, the record labels, they control the entertainment industry, and that clip is out now. So now people are going to have sense now. Now you could see the bullshit, what's going on, right? That the hypocrisy, what's going on. Maybe he didn't have enough for them to talk about. He doesn't have Adidas contracts. He doesn't have all these contracts with these companies, Charlemagne. But if he had all these stuff Kanye West had and he was as popular, maybe that would happen. So this is a modern day lynching of a black man. That's what it is. Modern day lynching of a black man. And now he wants to apologize, or he did apologize. I don't know if that was a real apology, but he really meant what he was saying. Now he wants to apologize. Or he's pretending to apologize because he sees his money going down. Was Kanye wrong for what he said? Let me tell you what he was wrong about. Talking about George Floyd. And Lil Boozy had a good point. He apologized to the Jewish community. Did he apologize to the black community for what he mentioned about George Floyd? How he passed away? Because he needs to apologize to that family before he even apologizes to that other community. He needs to apologize to the George Floyd family. That's who he needs to apologize to. I don't know if they're still going to do that lawsuit against him. Maybe they feel sorry for him because they see all these companies going away from him. They're all leaving. But then again, I've seen another thing. Maybe this is all of a plan from Kanye West, right? Because Kanye West wants to be out these contracts, which I heard he had like a pretty long time contract with some of these companies. This is a smart and an intelligent way to get out these contracts, because you can't just come out of contracts because they could charge you, right? Or own you in some way. So by him doing all of this stuff in the media could just be a plan in the making to get rid of these they let me go. Who cares? This is what he wants. He wants to come out these contracts. You ever think of it? Think of it. This is not the first time someone has mentioned that same community controls the music industry and the media. Right? There's somebody called Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan from the Nation of Islam. He's been saying this for ages. But guess what? He doesn't have anything they could take away from him. So that's not really anything. But he said way more than Kanye West. Way more than Kanye West, let me repeat. In an intelligent way. And there he is. He's still around. Right? But what Kanye mentioned, he did not say anything, I don't think he said anything violent in regards to that community. He just mentioned something what's on his mind, an opinion, what he probably heard from many others. It's not like it wasn't said before, right? So I said it. Is it wrong? There's certain, it's like a lot of your products come from China, what are made. It's like saying most Chinese, right, or Asians control the production of products, right? It's like the stereotype they used to all say a lot of Jamaicans smoke weed, ganja. Like it keeps going. A lot of Italians, they make pizza or they're part of the mafia, right? And even some of them would admit a lot of them are part of the mafia. Not all of them are part of the mafia. And not all the Jews control the music industry, but there's a big population who do work in that field. So what's bad even about saying that? That's something what should is like, you should be proud of. You should be proud that you guys, build up the industry like that for other people to become millionaires and stuff from music and from Hollywood. You should be proud of that. Saying, you get what I mean? There's documentaries about it, but everybody is hitting Kanye West. So now he's going back on certain words, saying that he's sorry and he's apologizing because he feels his pocket. But why don't you apologize to the black community, Kanye? Apologize to those people. Now they're trying to put him with Hitler. Kanye West has disturbing history admiring Hitler. Admiring Hitler. Okay, what could you find in Hitler? What's to admire? Now they're gonna put that he's anti-Semitic. Now, I'm guessing he's admiring the power he had, the influence he had over people. But people are gonna put that with probably, the history of the actions of the Nazis. Now, for you to put that with Kanye, you're saying basically he hates those people so much that he would do the same thing if he had the power of Hitler. That's what you're saying. And you still take this man serious? You don't think he has a mental issue, a mental problem going on, what he needs help with? No one's saying that. But a guy or a young guy who goes and shoots up and kills 30 people, oh, he had some mental problems. He needs help. We need to help him. We got to help him. And he shot 30 people. And they even found probably maybe a diary of a plan to do what he, there's many of those cases you see in the news, especially in America. And a lot of times, oh, he had certain problems, issues, and stuff like that. You get what I mean? And those get swept under the rug. You don't hear about those stories anymore. It happened, and that's it. But listen, I'm guessing it's the way how he came out with his words. And it's not that even before all of these things Kanye's mentioned, a lot of people didn't like Kanye in regards to who he was with. Let me repeat. A lot of people did not like Kanye in regards to who he was with. And this just added more to the fire by him talking about another community. Right? By him talking about another community made this all happen. And Adidas pulls out. Gap pulls out. Who else? Balenciaga pulls out. Can't even that music device, the STEM company, they pull out. So they all pull out because of anti-Semitic remarks. But when he mentioned about George Floyd and made up a story how he was killed, silence. This is to show you the fairness or what's going on. George Floyd, said he died from fentanyl. And all you companies did not say you're pulling out. But soon as he said something about a community, which is true, it is true. And you ain't gonna do that to me. It is true. You take all his companies away. When he's saying facts, well, nothing's wrong with what he said. But what was wrong what he said was about George Floyd. You see how it's messed up? You see how this is messed up? Kanye West against everybody. Brother, I hope you get some help because the media is going up and down. Up and down. They're saying you have mental issues on one hand, and then they're taking your words seriously. Correct me if I'm wrong, even in the court of law. A lot of people who have mental issues, if they even commit a murder, a lot of times they go off of how they were thinking to prosecute them. Were they mentally stable? Like what kind of mental, what kind of mental they were in, basically, in that period of time. Did they know what they were doing? That's what they base it off. And if they think you are insane or crazy, you could even murder somebody and you won't serve all that time, or it just won't be the same. That's what I'm basically saying. It will not be the same as somebody who's supposed to be sane. So why do you believe all these words what are coming out of this man's mouth are fully what he believes? It's like people pick and choose what they want. Right? And it seems like a black man is not supposed to speak. That's what it looks like. Like the black man is not supposed to say anything in regards to society. This is very confusing. This is to show you there is no freedom of speech. What is freedom of speech? There is no freedom of speech. Kanye, brother. Modern day lynching. They're bringing up Hitler. They're bringing up all this Nazi stuff. And I don't see the same energy for a man like Trump, who actually had white supremacists by his side, who actually had these type of people who hail up, Hitler at his rallies. Like, you guys forget? This hasn't been too long. Just go Google Trump, YouTube Trump, and see how much stuff this man has mentioned in his whole time being a president. We're living in the Twilight Zone or something. This man said stuff about at least 5 to 7 groups. And he's not canceled. He still got his business going on, and he must be laughing seeing this. This is just giving him an example what not to do anymore. Because he doesn't want to lose all his, investments or business like Kanye West. So this is just like an example and a warning to people like him. But maybe people like him, no, maybe not. Maybe he could say something because he's not Kanye. He's not black. You get what I mean? Gap pull out. I can't even name how many groups have pulled out their interest from Kanye West. Recent news of Spotify, right? The president or whoever, the guy who runs it, they ask him, are you going to take his music off your platform? In response, the man said no. Because really, why don't you record labels get rid of Kanye? The same way like all these companies. Why don't you guys release him from his contract? Give him his masters. Because guess what? Kanye West would benefit more without any record contract. He's realizing this right now, that all these contracts he is not benefiting from really. It's more like slavery. Yeah, there's millions, but he's seeing his worth. He probably could benefit more without any contracts. So when he was saying, right, and just look it up, this is not no fake news. Google, do your own research of all these entertainment companies, right? I put my money on it. I like to put money on this if I can, and tell me if most of the entertainment companies, media companies, the executives and owners are not from the same community he has mentioned. And if they're not, you got me. You got me. If they're not controlled by these people, you got me. And you got Kanye. And you got Farrakhan. So, this is just, a little episode talking about this because I notice I don't hear too much people in the social media universe or the podcast universe talking about the real, because other communities we hear people talk about all the time and we don't see no backlash from them because it's true, right? It's like saying what's called a Chinese buffet, right? They don't control the buffets, the Chinese buffets. No, they don't. I don't know. This is just some crazy shit. All because he brought up one community's name. But the black community, they don't count. They don't count, man. We don't count. No one cares about us. Oh, yeah. Our feelings don't mean nothing. But they could have somebody like 6ix9ine say the N-word all over, and they're the ones who are, having him in the music industry express those words like kill nigga, kill nigga, kill nigga. That's probably all over his records, a lot of his records. The list goes on, but some food for thought, right? Don't get fooled by all media. Do your research, look around, right? Watch some old shows like the Geraldo Rivera show, where he had a lot of Nazis on his show all the time talking about all different races. Go watch a couple of Farrakhan speeches. Go watch some Trump speeches, right? The list goes on. You want freedom of speech? There is no freedom of speech, especially on social media. Get that correct. Bless up.